decided to do this live because we had not done it before. I've never done a live with Beau. Actually, Kat Dunn was the first live that I've ever done. And that was before All Stars. And by the way, I did want to tell her that I was on All Stars when she kept bringing up the All Star stuff last March. But that was my first live ever. And so now I'm feeling a little more comfortable. I've done a couple lives with Kaser, who is for sure my Big Brother bestie. But there's another Big Brother bestie that I have. I mean, I do have like 5. But this guest that I'm having tonight is literally one of my best friends. Like, he was in my wedding, okay? Like, this is the real deal. Okay, let's see. How do I find him? Beau, where are you? Oh, I saw Beau. Okay, 1 second. I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry. Okay, how do I find Beau? Beau, please comment. There's too many requests. There's like 48 people requesting to join my live. And oh, yes, I do want to do a live with my other Big Brother bestie, Brittany, who I know that you guys all know about Brittany, but we actually didn't become Big Brother besties until we did The Amazing Race. Well, actually, until we did The Price is Right together. Okay. There's too many people requesting. You guys are seriously. If someone can just, Beau, please request. Yeah, you guys stop requesting. Just let Beau request, because I can't. There's no way I can do all these requests. Beau. This is so hard. Okay. Stop requesting so I can have Beau on. Beau, if you can request to join, that'd be awesome. So I'm not talking to myself. I have other Big Brother besties though too. I also have Howie, James Ryan, and a lot of people don't know this, but I'm really close with Amanda Zuckerman too. Oh, and Rachel Riley. Beau, what's up? Where are you? There's too many. I had like 53 requests. Now I have 57. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second here. Waiting for Beau. Connecting. He's coming. Oh my God, hi!
Hi. How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, wait, hold on. I've got way too much going on right now.
Okay, let's see what's happening. Let me turn this off.
So I am also enjoying my TGIF. I have this amazing wine tonight. It's by Italics.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was the Weapons one. This is just the Cabernet Sauvignon from Italics Wine. I know that you haven't been there, but I found this vineyard in Napa Valley because they were on a reality show. And it's just a wonderful vineyard. It's over in St. Helena. You would absolutely love it.
Here. Okay, there we go. Love it.
Yeah. So
cheers.
Cheers to you, Beau. I wish I was in Fort Lauderdale with you.
I know. We're gonna be doing that.
To Brittany right now. I know it.
Tell me about it. Totally. So, how was your week? How was your trip?
Oh, Disney was great. Disney was amazing. I had so much fun. I really lived my best life in Disney.
Love it.
I always pretend I'm a little kid at Disney. I think I enjoyed it more than my kids did.
That's how it should be, though. You know, you have fun, you become a little kid again, and it's it's just like it's the land of a million wishes. What is it? The land of
the happiest place on earth, Beau.
Happiest place on earth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I want to do a live with you because, you know, you are one of my big brother besties, and
Yeah.
I do have a lot of them, but you were in my wedding, and
Yeah.
so you are more than a big brother bestie to me. You are one of my best friends. So is Kaser, so is Howie.
Yeah.
But like, I love you, and you know,
I love you
we're
more,
best
honey.
friends. We have so many great memories together. And what a lot of people don't know is that the reason Beau and I became so close, and I don't know if other contestants feel this way too, but like Beau and I were from the same city when we did Big Brother. And then when we came, like, obviously Miami Beach was super small at the time. It's blown up to something bigger than life now. But 15 years ago, Beau and I were both in the same industry, and we both lived in the same city. And even though we hated each other when we did Big Brother 6, I was like, I want to hang out with someone. And I was like, well, why not hang out with someone that had just gone through what I had been through?
Right.
And so Beau and I started hanging out, and I was like, oh my God, I love Beau so much. So we became best friends, and we would like always just go. We went out like, I would say we would go 4 nights out of 7.
4 nights a week.
Sure.
4 nights a week. It was literally. It was sometimes, I remember it was like I'd be at one place, like I had like, I think my promotions at like Sweet and Snatch, I think. And then like you were at Mansion or somewhere else, and I'd be like, I'm leaving or whatever else, and I would come to you, or you would come to me, and we would just like meet in the middle and be like,
we would just be drunk and just dance in whatever club we were in. We would always like to dance when the confetti was coming down.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Before the lights would come back on, you know. It's crazy. I love it.
The best times ever. And honestly, it was like, and just like you said, like when we got out of the house, like to be able to relate to someone that just experienced what we went through.
Yes.
It's like hard because being in the house is kind of detrimental, kind of to your psyche if you don't really know how to handle it. Yeah. So like you and I were in the same city, same with Ashleigh, but I wasn't really close with her, you know. But I just felt like
you and I are party animals, or we were.
Heck yeah.
You know.
Heck yeah. We were literally like nonstop.
So we would I just remember so many times you would just be like, let's go and have drinks. And it would be like 2 p.m. and you would just roll up with your convertible. And I'd be like, I'm getting in. I don't care.
Like, let's do it. So what's open right now? We're like, it's Miami because everything is like always open. So we're like, all right, where can we go? Totally. I think like Nikki Beach was close to you. Then I think there was like, obviously Lincoln Road. There's always something on Lincoln Road that was open.
We went to Lincoln Road a lot, but I just remember always going to like all the gay bars with you and be like, let's go to Twist. We went to Twist and people would literally stop and they'd be like, how are you guys talking? They were so confused because we had this very, and I'm sure a lot of you know, a very dramatic blowout where I accused Beau of dating older men.
Yeah.
He accused me of being just whatever. So people at Twist were very confused why we were dancing to Britney in the middle of a club with lights going crazy on us.
Totally, 1000%. And we were like, and we didn't care. We were just like, whatever, in our own little world. We're in a little bubble.
Totally.
We were just like, who cares? And we're like dancing to Britney, dancing to like, you know, whoever came on. Yes. I think Pink was popular back then. So we're like.
Britney was everything to us. And then Beau and I, so that was like the first year. We did like 1 year of Big Brother 6 friendship. Mm-hmm. And then we became such good besties that I got asked for All Stars and Beau didn't, unfortunately. But I was like, Beau, will you watch my apartment and my dogs? Yeah. That was it. I remember. My mom watched my dogs, but you took out the trash.
I was plant sitting, making sure your plants didn't die.
My plants. He watered my plants for an entire summer of All Stars. That is friendship.
Yeah. Yes. And then I remember.
And I want to note, it wasn't real plants. It was like one plant, and it was like, remember that little box that I had?
Yeah, it was on your little balcony on the back side. So it was like this long little thing with like 8 plants, 8 little buds. It
was a patch of grass for my dog to pee on.
Mm-hmm.
And you watered it.
Well, I have to say, one day I walked out there because obviously it was like kind of in the sun and not, and I was like, all right, so plants, like you had like 4, maybe it was like 4 little live plants, and the rest were fake, and then like you had like a little patch of grass for Bear just to pee on. And and I was like, wait, this is kind of smelly. So then I just like rinsed it off and propped it up. Yeah. It was like, those are moments actually that are the most like memorable. Like, you know, when you trust someone to like go to your house when you're not there, to make sure it's not freaking burned down, to make sure that like, you know, it's not broken into, that kind of thing. That's when you really know that someone has your back, and that's really when you like bond. Yes. And then I think it was the following year that we took that trip to the Bahamas, right?
We started traveling together.
Yeah.
On private jets, of course, because we're bougie.
The only way to do it, honey.
I loved it. I was like,
that was
hey,
so much fun.
Bo, do you want to go to Atlantis? And you were like,
yep.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Why not?
You are totally crazy. I love it.
Oh my God. Totally. And I think I was even actually hungover from the night before. I was like just like out and about that night before. So I think we left on like a Tuesday morning or something like that. We left like something.
Of course. I would always do my big travels on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then the following year, Bo and I we both moved to New York at the same time.
Yeah, it was like 2007, 2008. 2007, I think, right?
2008, I moved to New York.
Okay, so I was going back and forth.
I went back and forth too, but I was technically trying to do like more New York.
2008.
I lived in Miami at the same time I lived in New York, but I was like going back
Same
and
here.
forth. I don't even know what I was doing. I was just being a single 28-year-old. I don't know. It was crazy.
It was fun days. And like honestly, because you were doing your real estate license, right?
I had my real estate license in New York. That's when I started real estate, and then I was also cocktailing on the weekends. Still, I was doing bottle service.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was doing bottle service just on the weekends. I was flying down just to work to Miami, and then during the week I was in New York working. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, craziness, crazy time. I remember our brunching at Pastis around the corner all the time.
Literally every day. Yeah.
Literally. The best days of our lives. Like,
we invented brunching.
Brunching.
The hashtag brunching.
So I said we should do like whenever we do our happy hours, we should call it Queens and Cocktails.
Yes, Queens and Cocktails.
Queens and Cocktails, honey. Yes.
Cheers, I love you.
I love you more.
Well,
yum.
I know some fans have some questions, and one of them that keeps popping up is, you know, you were on the side of the friendship, and I was with, you know, Kaser and Howie. Do you ever still talk to Maggie?
Really? No.
So you don't have much in common with her because she collects.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Like I think right after we left the house, I think that following, so we get out of the house in October. I believe it was like January, February, where some of us went to Vegas.
Sure.
Because Maggie and Cappy were there, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go because April's going, and Jennifer. Like I was okay with Jennifer, but I was just like, you know, not really that close. I think we kind of became more closer or close-ish in the jury house. But yeah, we went to Vegas for like 2 or 3 days, or actually 4 days. I kind of like separated myself a little bit because I wanted to go gay clubbing and hanging out and having a good time.
Yeah.
And she lived like kind of far off the beaten path, so it was like, all right, well, I kind of want to stay out. We went to a couple places. She took us out, but you know, she's not a party girl. Like, you don't know this because you never really hung out with her, but she's not a party girl.
She told me that she used to go to raves, actually.
Well, yeah, probably once in a blue moon in the middle of a field, and like, you know, like once every, who knows? I don't know the deal.
She went to a rave in
That's not being a raver. That's not being a party girl. She probably was suckered into going to a rave and not realizing what it was until she got there and figured it out.
And then she judged everyone that was there. Like,
exactly. You know, I haven't seen her, spoken to her. I don't know, 14 and a half years.
Okay.
Literally.
Well, I know a lot of people ask about that all the time. They're like, so, like, where's Maggie? Like, who still talks to her? It's so random. It's so weird.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I don't even think that, I think when she won the money, that, like, she was just like, her only reason was to win that was to, like, start her own family with, like, whatever he got, I forget the guy's name, her husband, and to, like, not deal with the ER anymore. Because remember, she was an ER nurse.
She didn't like the ER.
Yeah. So
I remember what she said. Yeah, that's interesting. Who do you think now out of all these seasons, and I've done so many, I'm just like so overwhelmed, but I do remember, post show a lot of times. Who do you feel like is more hated, Maggie or Nicole F? Who do you think? Maggie, right?
You think so?
I don't know. I think so because Maggie literally, if you guys don't remember, literally fell off the face of the earth, girl. She doesn't have social media. Like,
I do have to say, I think Maggie was just, not really into that whole thing, or like, we're young and we're fab and everything else. We have things to like, to
totally
show off a little bit, because we're fabulous. Yes. I think that, can't help it. I just think that Nicole F, like certain things that she was saying, I think, okay, nowadays, after this season, I think Nicole F is probably the most hated, only because the things that she was saying this season, and she was like,
but don't you remember what Maggie said about her patience?
Yeah, you're right, actually.
You remember what she said?
What did she say?
I can't repeat it.
Yeah, I can't either.
It was so bad that I literally can't even repeat it.
Yeah. And then, there were some things I have to say. Back in our day of being on TV, I have to say we did get away with a lot of things, but like obviously we didn't have social media.
You could say different things and not be judged and be like, oh, it's fine, like whatever, because
like
I remember Kaser being called names.
Yeah.
I threw out the R word on like one of the episodes, which was okay to say then, but it's not okay now. It's fine. And I remember Yvette threw some slurs, and there was just like a lot of stuff like that was just not okay.
There was a lot of things that were below the belt that shouldn't have been said. Because I remember a lot of things, even watching back. Because I didn't. Oh, this is the thing. I didn't watch our season until like a year after. Like I didn't when I got out of Big Brother, I was like, I don't want to be involved. Remember I grew my hair out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And I had that little. You're like, what the fuck, really? I was just like so over it because I just wanted to decompress, and I didn't want to be, not say I didn't want to be recognized, but like, I just wanted to be like chill,
Yeah, totally.
And then I think that, when it came to me watching the show and watching it back, then I realized that, oh, wow, okay, this is why I didn't keep in touch with a lot of the friendship.
Sure.
Because watching back, I was like, wow, really? They really said that? Even when Cappy said, oh, well, we know who the gay guy is, whatever else. I'm like, I knew that it was, he didn't say it like in a mean way, but it's just the way he said it. I was just like, wow, really, dude? Like, you're just going to judge me just because, like, I'm gay? Oh, he's one of the girls, I'm like, well, what if I'm not? What if I'm more sportier than you are? Like, why would you say that, like, judge me? So there are certain things that were said, obviously, like, I didn't know going into the whole, going to Vegas that weekend, but I just wanted to party and have a good time. We barely, hung out together. I think I hung out with them maybe like twice. But whatever, long story longer. I think that the best part of Big Brother was meeting you and Howie and becoming friends. Like, I have to say, the funny thing is, and I got this too, a lot of people, they were asking me, like, well, who else do you talk to? Who you hang out with? And, how are you? And, and Yvette. I'm like, me and Yvette, we're not friends going to the house. So people don't understand. So we didn't know anything about each other. We didn't know how we were going to act, and that's why I was so quiet to a certain extent, because you can't have a loudmouth someone and another like loudmouth gay guy, like, like going at it. They were like, okay, you guys are out for sure. Can't have two threats. So I kind of just had to play the back burner, or the be on the back seat. And just like let her do her thing, and you can't tell her anything, because who was it that told her that you didn't like her? Because that's the reason why she started shit about it. Was it James? Yeah. So that was part of the strategy. But you never said that, and that's the point. When I watched back the show, I was like, what the fuck? Why did I mean, obviously he was playing game, but she's a very emotional player. So obviously you see that she takes everything to heart. She got super emotional every time that she was, told something, and she was crying every other.
She's an emotional player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how social media has changed everything now.
Oh my God.
I just find it very interesting, because you're almost you almost can't disappear anymore, can you? I mean,
Yeah.
can you really?
At
Because
all.
like Maggie and Cappy, they just disappeared, and I think now it's really hard to, because everyone wants a statement or an opinion.
Absolutely.
You know, on what you did or what you said, and there's
Yep.
reporters and all this and that, and before, I mean, we just had MySpace, and you could just shut it off, and they couldn't contact you, and no one had, you couldn't DM someone.
We had MySpace. We had MySpace and Friendster. Remember?
But you couldn't DM anyone, and I had too many followers that there was just no way.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think there were forums back then. There weren't even like chat rooms that you could like talk about.
We did forums, like
forums. Yep, and there was people that were transcribing like what we said, but that was also only at the will of the person who was typing the messages. They could have fucked us over and said that we said something else without us knowing, and then that's in writing, and it's like, oh, you said this. Well, wait a second. Totally. You know, that's why I was very like cautious. I mean, I kind of understood, and obviously, you know, being in the house after a while. You're like, am I really on TV? Like, because you don't see the cameras, and you don't see camera people, so you kind of forget after what, just the second day.
You forget after a day. I feel like, you know, I've done the show 4 times, and I feel like doing it the 4th time this time. And by the way, I only came back for the fans. I knew that I was going to be gone right away. Yeah. I told you this, Beau, before I left. I was like, okay, like if I make it past week 4, like good for me, because I know what happens every time I go in. Because I get really irritated with, you know, the name I have and like the fans and whatever that they're, whatever. Yeah. So I really came back for the fans and really for just CBS, because they've done so much for me in my life, and they've given me a lot. And I was like, this is like a thank you back. Yeah. And I felt it was like donating my time, you know, and it was so annoying initially to be targeted right away, but I was okay with it. And I feel like all the times that I've done Big Brother, this was honestly the easiest, like, back to my life, even with social media and, like, you know, people having my whatever number and my emails. It was fine. Yeah. It was like the easiest transition, and I didn't struggle with it at all. I think
that's good. But I was going to ask you, like, you and I have spoken obviously since you've been back, but like not intensely. Like when you got into the house, when you walked into the house and you saw, like, you know, familiar faces, and you knew how people play certain games and so forth, you know, how did you already feel like a threat when you walked in? Do you already feel like a target? Yeah.
When they called me in like March, and I know that for sure I was, me, Tyler, Rachel Riley, Derek, and Dan were the first 5 called.
Right.
For sure. Just like going back on like what happened, this and that. And I told them, I was like, I don't really want to do it because I feel like I'm going to be the first one targeted. And they were like, you're not going to be, you're not going to be, you're not going to be. We're going to put other targets in there. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, let me think about it. And like, I didn't even answer them back for like a month, really.
Yeah.
But where was I going with this? What was the question?
Oh, it was like, how did you feel when you walked into the house and you saw familiar faces? Like, did you automatically feel the daggers on your back? Like,
no, I was disappointed. I wanted to see Casey in there. I wanted to see Josh. I wanted to see Paul. I wanted to see Derek. You know, I wanted to see all these good players.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like,
what did you think when you saw David in there?
I was so confused. I'm like, okay, like, so how did he get here? And someone like Amanda or someone like Vanessa or someone with actual skill didn't get in the game. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I think he's a nice person and he means well, but like, he didn't take it seriously because, and I will tell you this, when I was in sequester, I probably binged like 3 seasons.
Wow.
So that's what I could watch in 2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks,
and I studied everyone's game, and I had like a notebook, and I wrote everything down, and I had like a backstory, so I could use that to my advantage in the game if I ever needed it, to like stories that they did or moves or whatever that I could, you know, top them up.
Yeah.
David watched 1 episode while he was in sequester, and we all had access to the same show. Yeah. And so I'm like, why am I watching 75 episodes and this dude watches 1? Like, what are you doing? Don't waste my time.
Yep. I know. And did you see when he blew up Davon's game and Bailey's game, and he was like, and Tyler's game? Like, I was like, oh my gosh! Like, I got a lot of hate. You know, not a lot of hate, but like a little bit of hate. Like when I was just like, David, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, you're like, I even know better than that. And I got like, you know, it's what, final 5, whatever, final 6, whatever you call it. I lasted 10 weeks in the house at least. I wasn't out the first week, but at least I know how to fucking play the game. Like, you don't, like, keep your mouth shut. You know, if you have like an alliance with somebody, keep it.
You don't tell other people. And you,
oh my God.
Like, what
and
are you
he
doing?
thinks that like his lifeline was like, okay, well, I mean, maybe just talk to so and so because I trust him. I'm like, oh my God, everyone's playing you like so fucking like much. It's like he needs to get it together. Like, and then I think
he
like
was so bad at the
Kevin
it was
in the
so
beginning.
frustrating to talk strategy with him, or
Oh
even just to talk to him in general.
Well, it went right over his head.
It's crazy.
And then with Kevin, you know, like he was sweet, but he was like whining and not like talking to you and not like trying to like be in like a full strong alliance. And one thing I was explaining to the fans as well, I first of all, this is the first year I've ever been so into Big Brother, obviously because you were on it, but also, you know, it's like, you know, you're my best friend. So it's like, I think we have such a strong bond, you and I. So I could like, I was watching the feeds, okay? And I was literally like watching, and when like something would happen, I was like screaming at my iPad. I was like, fuck, and I was tweeting about shit left and right. When you were like, when Nicole Anthony, when she I guess said some shit about me, she was like, she doesn't believe me, or I can't trust her. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, what the hell? And then when you felt bad about putting her, or like, you know, because you wanted to protect her, and you couldn't, and you started crying, I started crying.
Oh no, Beau.
I was like, what the hell? Obviously, I was drunk. I had been drinking for like, you know, it was 1 in the morning. I was
oh
like,
my gosh.
Well, it's like, you know, 3 hours time difference. So obviously you guys are in LA. I'm watching it 1 in the morning. You're like, you know, I can't believe I couldn't save you. I'm so sorry. And you were like crying. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, my best friend's crying. Like, I feel her pain. And I went live.
You did?
I mean, I think I reached it, but like, it was like serious. And people were like, "Are you okay? I'm concerned about you." I'm like, "I'm fine, guys."
You're like, I'm crying because Janelle's crying on the live feeds, and out of all these seasons, she's crying over Nicole A. What the hell's wrong?
I know.
What's wrong with me?
It was sweet though. It was sweet. I was like, you know what? See how much of a big heart she has. You do have a big heart. Like seriously. Honestly, like, I know that you have my back and you're my ride or die, and I'm your ride or die as well, because how many times have we been in a popular situation of, like, being in bars, people are jealous of us, and when we were in Napa, that was...
my God. Tell the Napa story, Beau. I got
so it's kind of my fault. It was kind of my fault, okay? So here it is.
You tell the story better, but we're on my bachelorette party. I'm wearing... okay. a sheer shirt. My boobs were out. It was very, very sheer. And we're in a classy place, and like we weren't being classy. We were just like, fuck it, it's wrong. I don't care.
We walked in. We're in the middle of Napa Valley. We walk in, and mind you, we had been wine tasting the whole day.
The whole day.
So we walk in, and we're like, we own this fucking bitch, okay? We walk in, we're having a good time. The owner comes over. He's like, oh my God, I love you guys. I'm like, awesome. He's like, watch out. And he moves the crowd, and he like puts us at the end of the bar. He's like giving us shots and whatever we want. And then he's like, what do you guys want to hear? I'm just like, Brittany. Okay, so it's you, me, and Gina. And then, like, there's some girls. I think there was also like, I don't know, some random girls that were around. And I was like, I want to dance. I want to dance. Of course, I'm like feeling myself at that point. And I put the stool in the middle of the dance floor, remember? And I was doing like the lap dance with the, you know, so there was a bachelor party or some kind of like men's something like gathering or whatever, like someone's birthday or something. So it was like maybe like 8 barley, like whatever, Goomba, you know, boys. And they're staring at me and they're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? I'm like, I'm with my girls, okay? I'm with my girls. So shut up, leave me alone.
Yeah.
So you and I and like our other friends that we had made that night, Dina, we're all like dancing, having a good time, and they're just all standing around us, like watching us. So then I get up and I'm just like doing my whole Britney dance, doing your Britney dance. We're doing our little twirl and sashay.
Like what we always do. We're just dancing and
like
getting
just
a lot of
minding our own business. Exactly. here we are. Then this guy comes up to me. He's like, you need to like, stop with your, whatever stuff. And I think he called me like the F word, like a fag.
He did call you the F word. He said the F word.
And I was just like, excuse me? I was like,
excuse me?
Yeah. And you're like, oh, no, you don't. And he got in my face, and you're like, no. Get out of his face. And he's like, oh, who are you going to talk to? I was like, don't talk to her.
Beau, he took you by the throat.
Pushed me.
He took you by the throat. I was behind him. He took you by the throat, and he threw you up against the wall and was holding you.
Yeah.
So I jumped on the guy's back, and I started punching him in the head, and I grabbed his eyes to blind him, and I pulled my hands back to, like, scratch him, and it worked.
Yeah. His eyes were bleeding. His eyes were bleeding. You pulled back and you leaned back. Oh my God, I remember this.
I jumped on his back. I mean, I didn't know what to do. He was going to kill you.
I know.
He was going to kill you.
He was going to kill me. I kid you not. Like, seriously. I was like, what's happening? Dina had to go outside and, like, ration with the people.
No, then the bouncers came and they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, we were like wrestling around, and he like wanted to fight me, but he's like, I know.
But then they kicked those guys out, and they kept us inside. But then the guys wouldn't leave. They were like standing outside waiting for us to leave so they could jump us. I was like, oh no, it's not happening. So literally,
it was so bad.
It was like 30 minutes later, and then oh my God,
like, we have to leave this part of Napa Valley.
Yeah.
I mean, those were like cowboys or something.
Yes, they were like country folks from Montana.
They were cowboys. They were cowboys that owned a ranch, that were wine tasting. I was very concerned for your safety. They wouldn't have done anything to me. I was ready to kill them. I know. And the fact that like we had to run for the cab because we called the cab. I think the owner of the cab. It was a limo. We had our limo. We had a limo for my bachelorette party. It was parked outside. That's how we got on
I forgot about that.
Jumped into my limo.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. It's so funny.
And then we went to that margarita bar.
Oh my gosh. Too funny. And then we went to San Francisco after that.
Yes, and that was always way more calm than Napa Valley.
Exactly. Because it was also where we stayed at the Clift, had a fabulous classy time.
We did. We toned it down a little bit.
A little bit. But yeah, it was fun. Like, that trip was just like obviously memorable, but that's when obviously that was, your bachelorette and like, but you just know, like we had so many bonding moments before then, but like, just like I knew I can only get, and as you know, I can only get like turned up around like 5 people my whole life. Like I have probably 5 best friends. You're one of them. I'm like, I can just, because I know I'm protected. I know that I'm gonna be fine.
You're protected because I'll jump on a dude's back and claw his eyes out.
I love it. Seriously. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Have you spoken to anybody from BB22? Like, anybody that
I talked to Kaser all the time, of course.
Augie. Yeah.
And then I wish I would talk to Bailey more, but she's so busy and I don't want to bug her.
She blocked me.
But what?
She blocked me on Twitter.
Bailey?
Yeah, I don't know why.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything to her. I was like, I had her back. If you look at all my tweets, I was like Team Bailey, Team Janelle, Team Davon. Like, I was like,
so weird.
I think something happened when I did maybe like Evil Dick's show or I did Lance Bass's show that I said that Swaggy was a little extra. But I mean, he is extra. There's nothing wrong with saying that he's extra, but I don't know. I remember it was when you guys were doing your, it was finale night. You guys were doing, your Skype call on CBS, and I went to go I said the bottom 3 people in this picture would have been you, Kaser, and Bailey, as they need to be the final 3, which there was final 3. And I went to tag her, and I couldn't tag her. I'm like, why can't I tag her? Then I realized, so that I just put Bailey. And then I went, after I tagged it, and I went to go, like, look for her name, didn't even come up. Like, I'm blocked. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, really? Weird. I don't know. It's very, or maybe she heard something different that I said. I don't know, but, like, I was like, wow, that's interesting. So, but I would love to meet her.
Beau, they're saying she deleted her account.
Oh.
Yeah, she didn't block you. She deleted it.
I'm about to say, I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously? Why? Why would she delete her account?
I don't know. Twitter's so toxic sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. This is true. Okay, now I don't.
I'm still friends. I'll always be friends with Bailey.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll always be friends with Kaser.
Love you,
the
Bailey.
other people, the jury people, I've just given them their time because, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I haven't reached out to anyone.
Do you feel like that you would ever
today again?
Say
McCray
what?
was here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about so you know that I'm gonna so you and I talked yesterday about this Give Kids the World charity. So I'm gonna drive up because I can go to like certain events, like the ones that I don't feel comfortable with because if they're inside, you know, that I don't feel comfortable with, I don't have to go to. But it's like 3 hours away. I'm like, you know what? Why not? So I'm gonna go. This morning, I wake up, and of course, in my first feed is Memphis, and he's doing this whole, like, you know, thing, this whole rant about what people were saying.
I saw that.
Yeah. So I was like, buddy, you're in Fort Lauderdale. Like, I live in Fort Lauderdale, too. He's like, oh, yeah, we have to get together, whatever else. So I just found out today that
he owns a restaurant in Miami, too. Like
Isn't it Joya Beach, the one over on the causeway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I'm supposed to be going down to the beach like sometime this weekend, so maybe I'll pop in. I don't know if he's down there, though, but
I really like Memphis. I think.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is your take on Memphis?
That's fucked up, but like, Memphis will own it, and like the thing about Memphis is you can. I mean, he's one of those people like if he doesn't like you, like he really doesn't like you. And I've never felt that he didn't like me, so I always felt really comfortable with Memphis. I don't mind him. I guess we have a lot in common.
Well, you guys will also have that entrepreneurship mentality.
Both businesses. Yeah, he's a business owner. Like
so I think that's where you guys
came from the nightclub industry, like both of us. It was so crazy because I think his old boss is like one of my exes or something. Like we have like so many commonalities. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So what have you spoken to? I mean, I don't know. You're not. Did you ever speak to anybody from other? Now, see, I'm getting drunk now. This is my first cocktail.
Gosh, no.
This is my first cocktail this whole week, literally.
Oh my god, this is my first glass of wine. I did get drunk at Disney, not like in Disney parks, but like after, like I got pretty buzzed up one night.
Yeah.
I met this amazing gay couple, and they were staying at my hotel, the Yacht Club, and I was like, "Do you want to have like drinks?" While my kids play in the pool, there's like a million lifeguards. And they were like, okay. And so I had like, they had these drinks called Category 5s. They were so good, Beau.
It's like a Mai Tai or something?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Too funny. I think I asked a question, but I can't remember.
What?
I said, I think I asked a question, but I can't remember what it is. What did I say? Have you spoken? Did you speak to any of the people from the other seasons that you were on? Like you were on, like you speak to Brittany Hayes. You went on Amazing Race with her.
Brittany.
Who else are you close with from other seasons?
Dan. I talked to Dan.
Okay. And what about? Okay. So remember when we went to?
Story on that one.
Oh God, really?
No, it's just like whatever. The whole, what happened.
Of course. Remember our Rainbow Oregon trip?
What's that?
Remember our Rainbow Oregon trip that we went and?
Oh my God, that was the best BB trip. No, the best Big Brother trip was the Kentucky Derby with Boogie, Frank, Will, and Ashley. That was by far the best trip because we had red carpet.
Oh my God.
Millionaires Row. They paid for a flight. They paid for a hotel. That was the best Big Brother trip. But the second Big Brother trip that I ever took that was super memorable was when Beau and I went camping in Oregon. We went camping.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
We went camping, so we needed a big SUV. So Beau rented us a Hummer because we had to get through the woods and go camping.
No, listen. Let me tell you the story. So remember, I was like, okay, so I got a big. So I said I wanted like an SUV, like a Suburban or something like that. So you, me, it was Ashley, it was like, and somebody else. It was like two other people that were like.
The guy from season 9, Alex. The DJ.
Alex, that's right. That's right. And now he's a DJ, right? Or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it was like all of us getting together, all of us going, and I was like, okay, let me just get like a big SUV. And he's like, well, I have, either a Hummer or I have something else.
He's like, I don't want the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I just want the
Yeah,
Hummer.
exactly. I said, I want a Hummer, or well, let's take the Suburban, whatever else. But the Suburban might be a little too big, whatever. Just give me the Hummer. And he's like, all right, well, I have like one left. I'm like, all right, well, and I said this before he even gave me the key. I said, well, if it's not yellow or orange, I'm good. He goes, here you go. Gives me the key. We walk outside, and what color is it? Neon fucking orange.
Neon orange Hummer. And we're gonna go
I was
camping.
like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna be the black person driving a fucking neon orange like Hummer in Oregon. Seriously, I was like, oh my god, this is not happening. But you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. But he had the best time. That fucking thing drove so good. Oh my god, it was great. It had the best time. You could see us in the forest from like a mile away. But
it was a very interesting camping trip.
Well, it was because like I met Parker for the first time. Remember, Parker was on BB9, right?
Yeah.
Then we met.
There was a lot of Big Brother 9 people, and they were.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Was it Chelsea Hart?
Chelsea,
right?
Joe.
Joe Barber. How is he? I think we're friends on Facebook. Like he's so.
I haven't talked to Joe. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about anybody else? I remember it was Ashley was like hanging out with a couple of guys. Howie was there too.
Of course. James was there.
Fun. Yeah. I mean, Dan, exactly. And then there's somebody else I can't remember, but like just the itinerary. Oh, Kale, what's her name? Kale, right?
Kale
the one
there.
who hosted us. She's such a sweetheart. Such a sweetheart.
It was a fun trip, though. It was really fun because we were camping, which when I say camping like this, we were in cabins or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were doing our camping thing, and it was fun. It was fine. It was a lot of the fans there were very cool.
Super sweet. We did
like,
karaoke.
There was like a lot of hippies that showed up.
Yeah.
Like a ton of weed.
Yeah.
Because Oregon, Big Brother fans from Oregon really brought the goods, I guess, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, we live in Oregon, like we are massive Big Brother fans, so we're driving over from our farms or whatever. I don't even know. It was like the most crazy experience.
Totally. And then when we left, we went up the Oregon coast because remember we all left out of Seattle, so we stayed at the W.
Wine tasting for Pinot.
Yeah. Willamette Valley Winery. I think I ordered a case. That was fantastic.
And then we went and stayed at the W.
Yeah.
Because we're just we needed like
a deep coming down from the woods.
Yeah. But
what
I've
else?
known those people for years. But yes, they really want us to talk about Danny. Like I keep seeing it on here.
Danny Donato?
They want me to talk about Danny Donato. And I don't really know what to even say because no one's heard from Danny. She's not posted. Like she's made no comments. I don't think she's gonna talk at all because I mean what do you think of Danny, Beau?
Honestly, in the beginning, I thought that there was supposed to be, and here's another thing, and I'll also elaborate on my suggestion or my thoughts on Christmas as well. So I thought you, Christmas, and Danny, and which I really thought that I heard this like verbatim, that you guys had like this like mom squad situation happening. Like you guys, and I was like, wow, okay, that's perfect because they all have kids, they can bond with each other, girl power, whatever. I think even Davon was part of that, and I think I was like, all right, perfect, awesome. But then she was the first person to throw your name under the bus, and I was just like, whoa, really? I was like, Danny, don't go there. And of course, I'm screaming at the screen. I'm just like, what's happening right here? Like, what's happening right now? She can't be doing this. Like, and I was like literally backing up from like the words that I wanted to like spill. And then I was just like trying to do it in a classy way to say, you know what? Now your seeds are not happening. You're not being planted, and now you're getting fucked over. So it's karma.
I
because
just feel like,
like
and I
negative
spoke to
energy.
my father about this, like, and he agrees with me too. He's like, how shitty of a player is she that she knew Like, Danny knew that I would never nominate her and I'd never vote her out of the house.
Ever.
And
I did 3 of Dick Donato's shows. I did 3 Evil Dick shows.
Yeah,
and I even said, I think Danny needs to step it up.
She's not my target. I would never put her up. I'm not voting her out. So, like, how great of a player is she? She's targeting someone that's, like, literally, like, I will keep you in the house if you need to. I'm not going to put you up. Like,
exactly. I'm like, what the hell? Like, seriously. And you were like her, like, I thought you guys had a bond. I was like, okay, they're good. They're going to, like, last long together. They're going to actually, like, get far together. And obviously then she went, I think also there was like the Janelle factor that happened. Yeah. And that she
is a disease. It is a real disease. And you've experienced it, not personally, but with other women that you've played Big Brother with. So you can speak on that, Beau.
Well, here we go. Let me just put my food in the freaking... Here we go. Let's talk about this.
Speak on that, Beau. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's elaborate on that, Mr. Beasley. Okay. So... I'm making my dinner right now, so hang on. Turn my light on. Hi. I'm in my kitchen. Okay, so by the way, I'm making pork chop. Okay, so I marinated it. Okay, so here's my take on the Janelle factor. Okay, and I honestly experienced it firsthand in the Big Brother 6 house, and this is complete fact, and I'm not saying this to save face or to like anything else. I was on your side the whole time, and I was telling people that, and the girls I'm talking about that were in my alliance, that like you're not like the one that needs to be hated on. You're not the one that needs to be like talked about. Like they're like it was the fact that you won the peanut butter and jelly pass, the fact that you were like amazing when that's what broke the camel. That's the straw that broke the camel's back in everybody's mind. They're like, she's so lucky. I'm like, how's that her fault that she's fucking lucky? I even went off on Maggie about it. I went off on April about it. I went on because they were pouting in the room upstairs. I was just like, you guys, like seriously, you guys are really like losing sleep over this bullshit. It's so annoying. Yeah. And I was just like, I can't. And honestly, when it came to the point of like, yes, of course, like, you and I like had our like banter back and forth. We would work out. We would like, but we were all cool. Like you, me, Howie, and even Sarah and James. Like we all hung out in the backyard together during like, at night. But they fucking wanted to go to bed early every night. I'm like, why are you guys going to bed so early? Like, what the hell? Like, I want to hang out. I want to like chill.
You want to hang out with Janelle and Kaser and Howie. Yeah. Fun.
Well, do you not remember that I was like laying on top of Kaser, like trying to do his hair. I had a crush on Kaser when he first walked in the house.
Of course you did. All of them.
I was like, I love a good Middle Eastern boy. Like, I love that shit. Like, and then I even said,
Tyler's in here from my season. Tyler Christmas.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Welcome to Cocktails with the Queens. The Queens.
We're having a happy hour. I'm having some great wine.
I need to do another cocktail.
Welcome to the party, Tyler.
Yes.
So we are discussing Janelle C, the disease. And do you think, Beau, that this is a disease that, does it take time to actually see symptoms of? Or does it happen right away?
I think it's the vision of Janelle Pierzina. That's like love at first. Either you have love at first sight or you have instant jealousy. That's just what it is. There's no in between. So, here's the thing. You exude confidence. You exude love. You exude just power. And I think a lot of people are just like, they're just, they're just intimidated by that. And I think it's also the fact that they, either don't have a life themselves, they have nothing to feel that they are this, I'm not saying worthy.
Right.
But there are certain things and certain, angles you can look at it. But when you look at people's confidence, insecurities, securities, and so forth, when people don't have those things and they see you, you walk in, you're fabulous, you're beautiful, you have great hair, you have great style, you have...
Don't forget that I don't give a fuck.
And that's the thing. You have the confidence. That's the point. That's the point. You have the confidence of a rock star. You are a rock star. But you never strive to be you know, a rock star or a diva, or you're like not like, you know, I need to be this. You know, you're naturally like that. And that's what some people want to be. People want to be naturally confident. They want to be naturally, you know, in the know. They want to be naturally popular or whatever else. Like when we were growing up in school, like I was the only black person in half of my schools, but I was like, whatever, I'm good. I'm chilling, you know. I owned it. I was chilling, you know. You have style, you have swag, you have a personality, you're able to get along with people. And I think another thing as well is that like you also had a lot of the guys looking at you because they were like in love with you, and they were like, well, why are you looking at me? I mean, like, really? Sorry to say.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
let's get real.
I no. The jealousy from season 6 because it was like I did have a lot of guys. Because I had my showman.
Do you not remember there was
this whole thing between Pacer, and I had Howie, so I had 3.
Well, yeah, and then you also like had the guy that Jenny couldn't have. Like, you know, hello, you and Michael were smitten. Like you guys were like super great together, and you guys had actually like a little bit of like chemistry or a lot of chemistry, you know. And we didn't see.
Michael and I definitely had chemistry in the house because he was my showman. But outside of the house, that was a definite run for the hills kind of thing. Oh my God, that is the worst.
Oh my God, seriously. And I have to say, like, yes, the jealousy is real, and I think that it was originated on season 6. But I think in, you know, I saw season 7. There were some people that kind of had it. Even some of the guys had it.
Boogie had it. Boogie
Dr. Willing, Boogie had it.
He got Janelle see the disease. He did get a little bit of that.
Yeah, seriously.
I took his friend, you know.
I know.
His friend and I spent all the time together, and his friend didn't even want to hang out with Boogie.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I see enough of you in LA. It's fine. Let me like do my own thing. Stop being my shadow, you know?
Yeah, Allison had it. Jace and Allison and Diane for sure had it.
Oh, Diane for sure. I didn't even think Erica had it. Erica had it too.
Not.
Yeah. Were you guys close now?
Slight. I didn't respect her game. Much like I don't respect Nicole Franzel's game, which they're very similar.
Seriously.
And I am very vocal about that.
Yeah.
I mean, when I put Erica on the block, I told her that I think her game sucks, and I hope she leaves because I think her gameplay is garbage.
It's her 4th time. Let's make this happen. She's got to do it. Like, you had a whole cheering squad. Like, it was literally the world loving you and everything about you, which is a beautiful place to be, you know?
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, when you're facing all these people that had all these, you know, preconceived notions, and then I heard that there was like a pre-house alliance with those 6 people. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Now, oh, I was livid. I was seriously livid. I was just like, this is not gonna fucking happen, really? And I was like, yeah. And then it happened. Then it actually came to fruition. I was like, okay, I guess it's happening. So
it is what it is, though, Beau. And honestly, like, I feel like the things that are meant to happen happen. And I told you this before I left. You know, like I didn't care if I left first or last.
Yeah.
I did it for the love of the game, and I did it for the fans, and I did it for the network. So
yeah, and I think that's also one of the reasons why I think that the whole world was like excited to see you again, because they knew that they know that you have a passion for the game. They know that you were like, you know, passionate about it. That you're gonna like, you know, not saying do the fans right, but you're actually gonna play the game. Like you're gonna love it. You're gonna do it, and you're gonna do what it takes to you know, make your, you know, mark, you know, in the house, which is a great thing. It's a great thing. It's fantastic. And you did, you know, and only being in the house for 4 weeks, you know, I was just like, holy shit, like you made a freaking, you know, I mean, I'm proud of you, babe. Like I'm so happy for you. And
I love you both. I can't wait to plan our next trip. You know, I don't know what's going to happen in the world. You know, the pandemic is ramping up again.
Yeah,
I don't like to make solid plans during a pandemic because things happen. But I would like to come see you in January. If I can.
Sure, for your birthday.
Yeah, and your birthday, because we're actually born exactly 1 month apart total. Yeah. Like Beau and I are both born in 1980, and he's December. So December. I would get you and Melissa mixed up. Are you the 12th or the 13th?
I'm December 11th, and you're the 10th. So I'm December 11th, and you're January 10th.
December 11th and January 10th. We're
literally a month apart.
We're a month apart. We're kind of twins in a way.
Yeah, we're twinning like no other. Hi, we are the same person.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't wait for you to come down. And like I said,
but I don't know what's gonna happen in the world, so I don't want to make like solid plans.
I know. I mean, let's not book until like we know what's happening, because if there's a shutdown, then
I feel like there's another stay-at-home order coming. I'm super nervous.
I mean,
they just shut down my children's school today. They just shut down all the schools, and I just enrolled my children, one of them, in private school.
Yeah.
So she's the only one I could get in. The other two, there's like 100 people on a waiting list or something crazy. But I got Stella into a good private school where she goes every day, because they can't. Oh wow. They can't shut the private schools down.
Right. My sister teaches in private school.
That's right. So it's just.
I know how it works.
What's that?
Yeah. I said my sister works for private school. She's a teacher.
Oh
and my niece and my nephew, they go to private school. So it's like, okay, like, but they don't. You can't close them down, because you have to pay. Or the parents are the parents are paying, or the kids are on scholarship. So you have to provide that service of of school.
Right.
So what's going to happen is
the only way the private school can get shut down if there's an actual stay-at-home order.
Wow.
So we'll see how it goes. She starts Monday. I'm super happy for her. But on the flip side, I'm super sad for my other two kids, because now they're home every day and they don't get that classroom time, because they were hybrid twice a week.
So Lincoln and Violet are both at home, and then Stella goes to away?
That's what's going to happen, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shit.
How strong did you make it?
Woo! So I don't do the big bottles of Tito's. I use like the shots. Remember the martini bar? Remember the martini bar my season? So I use 2 of these. This is how I gauge, because if I free pour, then I'm like shit faced. And the fact that I'm actually like detoxing, not so much today, but this is how I gauge how much I drink, because I add small little one hitters. So I use 2 of these. And then I use the first one. I use 2 of those, and then I use olive juice from the Manzanilla olives, like the Spanish olives.
Mm-hmm.
And then this time around, I'm doing like an energetic, sweet kind of peach mango martini. My martini glass.
Beau and his martinis. It never ends.
That martini bar.
Hey, did you hear about Boogie getting arrested again?
Yes.
What
he
is
was arrested
wrong with that man? What is wrong with him?
Insane. I mean, I saw that today. It was on Twitter. It happened like the article came out today.
Is he so crazy?
Is he 50?
I will say this. It's so crazy because this whole thing with Will and him happened, and I wasn't involved in that or anything, but like I heard a lot of it, and I heard it from Boogie.
So you think it messed up their friendship?
How Amazing Race happened, and they were like, "Who do you still talk to?" And I was like, "Oh, frick!" I talked to Brittany 2 weeks ago. So Brittany was my partner in Amazing Race. And I think there was like a group chat going or something. Like Dan was in it, and like maybe me and Boogie and whoever. But to get to the story, Boogie told me and Brittany, I really wanted to do the Amazing Race, and they said the only way I could do it is if I did it with Will. And Will won't do it. Will won't do the show with me. And I'm very, very mad right now. He's ruined my chances. And we were like, me and Brittany were like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. That sucks. Like, that's so bad. And he's like, yeah, Will's a piece of shit or whatever. And we're like, okay, whatever. But like, that was like his side of the story. And we never talked to Will. And then like I heard like rumblings from like James Ryan or something about a lawsuit, and I was like, what? And
no way.
Oh yeah. And it all came out. Apparently, when the Amazing Race happened, Boogie actually forged Will's name and signed Will's name on the contract to do the Amazing Race. So that started the fight. And then after that, Boogie, you know, he was using stuff, drugs, and he started to threaten Will. And then he told Will that, you know, I'm sure you guys have all seen on social media what he did to Will's daughter. Or
what happened?
You didn't hear about this?
I didn't know it got that deep. What happened?
There was a picture of Will's daughter, like, with like I think like her basketball team, and he put it on a table. Boogie put it on a table, and then he grabbed his gun and put it next to the picture and said, "I think Uncle Boogie's gonna have to go visit his favorite niece." And he threatened to drive by the school and shoot it up. I'm not going to say the name of the elementary school, but he said, "I'm going to come to blank, blank, blank elementary school, and I'm going to do a little drive-by so she can see her uncle."
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, beyond.
Wow. That is...
So after that episode, he went into a home, a treatment facility, and, you know, he got the help he needed to apparently recover from his... Mind you, this is over the Amazing Race. It's not even that cool of a show. Like, it sucks. Like, yes, I'm happy to be there. It was a great time. Me and Brittany had a great, great time together. Yeah. But, like, it's a fucking reality show. Like,
it's a show.
If you're going to get that pissed off at someone that doesn't want to take a month off of his life and his practice to go run you around the world so you can be on TV again, like, this guy, like, Will doesn't give a fuck. And Boogie's starting to, like, blow up his daughter's school.
I think Boogie's going through a midlife crisis. He's so used to being in LA. He's so used to, like, you know.
Your sound's weird.
Hang on one second.
You still sound like a chipmunk.
Hang on. Let me see. I think I'll hear.
Why do you sound like that? Hello?
Is that better?
No, you sound weird.
What the hell's happening?
I don't know. You went into another dimension, Beau.
Huh?
You went into another dimension. Anyway, yeah, so that's what happened with them. And when, you know, he got arrested today again for drug possession, I'm like, is this man serious? Like, he needs help. He needs to go back to New Hampshire and see his family. Like, what is this man doing?
Yeah. Do I sound better now?
No, I feel like I'm talking to Alvin.
Ow! What happened?
Alvin!
Simon, Theodore. I just spoke to my phone. Maybe I'm on 48%. I mean, it shouldn't be like that.
Well, whatever.
Did my voice get fucking weird?
Maybe my battery's low and it's me. I don't know. Maybe it's not you, it's me.
Can you guys hear us okay?
I don't know. They're like laughing. So
No.
no, everyone's saying your sound is weird.
What the fuck?
Well, whatever. Let's keep talking, even though you sound different.
You want me to like exit and come back in?
What?
You want me to exit? You want me to go out and come back in?
No, it's fine. I'll never be able to find you, Beau. Never. Like, I could barely even get you on the live.
Okay.
God.
Oh God.
So what else?
Let's talk about season 7. Just drama with Marcellus, because I want to know.
Oh, Marcy. Okay. So Marcellus is mad at me, but now he's not mad at me. I don't know. You know, he's a very beautiful, emotional man, and he gets really ticked off at me. I love Marcellus, and him and I had a really good connection playing Big Brother, but like, it all went to shit because he continued to backstab me in the house.
Yeah.
And then I found out about it, and I was like, dude, like, everyone's saying that you're coming after me. And, like, it was true. And he's like, yeah, well, I was just saying that. Da-da-da. I'm like, okay, well. You know, some things happened during Big Brother, and I think that it got to him. And we tried to make up, but I think he holds on to grudges, perhaps?
He always
I don't know.
does. He always does. He's a bit, like, first of all, so as you know, when you go into the house, you have to, like, you have your pre-entry interviews with CBS, and you have everything else. And when we went on for the first time, remember, he had his show called House Calls, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So we had to go in front of him and talk to him, and, like, he was asking us questions in that small little room closet. And
your voice, Beau. Your voice. I can't. I can't. Just stop. I can't. I can't do it. I'm
really?
sorry. It's too nasally. It's like.
Is it really?
Oh my God. It's like you're underwater, but you're like full Franzel too.
I'm gonna exit, and then just like I'm gonna like request you. So just look for it. Okay.
What was I saying here? Yeah, so he's always been bitter, but he started following me again, and I don't know which social media app.
Yeah.
That's better. What happened?
No, he's a dick twat.
Never mind. You're still underwater.
Hang on a second. Let me see what this happens. Let me see this works.
Anyway, I want to say I'm trying to repair my relationship with Marcellus. If he wants to repair it with me.
Don't do it.
Oh my God. Beau.
What?
I like Marcellus. He blocked me over the years and whatever, but I don't know which app he's following me. Maybe it's TikTok or something, but he's following me again, and I followed him back. So.
Well, he talks shit about me so much without even knowing me, and that's why I don't like him. And he had the nerve to like try to talk shit, and he was like, well, and evidently on my exit interview on House Calls, he was like wearing a wig and like, was acting like a drag queen, and was like, Beau sucks, and he's, a loser to the game, all this other stuff. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, seriously? Like, what the fuck? So idiotic and so immature. I was like, I have nothing to do with this guy, and I want nothing to do with this guy ever. And I'm like, you know what? This guy, if he comes across me, or if I come across him in a fucking dark alley, I will.
It's getting better.
All right, good. So my phone is charging. That's why.
Oh my gosh, Beau. Oh my God. Get a charger, bitch.
It's on. It's a fucking fast charger too, Hunter. Yeah. So like literally, I'm like, this guy has. I mean, like, here's the thing, and here's one thing I have to say about Big Brother.
Yeah.
They were typecasting me to be like him.
Sure.
And the fact that I'm a stylist, I'm black, I have a shaved head, I'm like sassy, I'm this, but I'm my own person. Like I do my things in a way. You can't expect for me to like be like him. So when I was on sequester, actually I think it was during my interview process when they flew us out to LA, they gave me the tapes. They're like, here, watch season 3. They gave me season 3 to watch, like, when I was in sequester.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening here? Like, really? You guys want me to... I'm like, first of all, don't think so. I said, I'm 10 years younger. I was like,
that looks great. Yeah. I had cold pizza for breakfast and dinner.
Oh my
lunch.
God.
It just sucks.
Call me Betty Crocker, honey. This is pork chop, roasted pork chop. So I was like, how dare you try to like make me or mold me into like a character
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to be me. Like, you know, and I think that's what they didn't like about my growth or my being in the house. And I think that's why, I mean, I'm not trying to make any excuses. Maybe that's why they focused more on Yvette, because they knew that she was going to give her more drama and more craziness. Like, people, when I got out of the house, they were like, well, you know what, you're, you know, you were so quiet. I'm like, I wasn't quiet. I was fine. But the edit that I got was more, thanks, Janie. I love you. Drinking.
Happy hour with you is always fabulous.
Absolutely.
This is like we've had like 500 happy hours together over the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I know.
And all of them happened after BB, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a testament to enemies becoming besties. Cheers.
Besties. Loves that.
Loves it.
Cheers. I love you.
Cheers.
So, yeah. I mean, I even texted Robin today because I was like, you know what? Love you, mean it. What's going on? How are you? Like, I think we also have a bond with, like, the people behind the scenes as we do with the people that are in front of the scenes.
Yeah, like me and LaJuan.
Oh, how was that? I never met him yet. I haven't met him.
LaJuan?
Uh-uh.
Oh my God, that is my OG handler that I've had since season 6.
Really?
She was with me in sequester for 14 days. We literally listened to Janet Jackson and danced and went on the whole 30. This girl lost like 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Before I went into sequester, I was like, just to let you bitches know, like, I'm not going to go into this house looking fat, and I'm not going to gain any weight this time, this and that. And they were like, okay, Janie, whatever. And I wrote my food list down, and I was like, only Whole 30 foods. And I wrote in capital letters, no sugar, no carbs allowed in the house, no alcohol allowed in the house. And so LaDwan was like, I'll take this on. And this poor woman, she was like, what am I getting myself into here? Yeah. She gets to the sequester house with me. And I'm like, not only are we going to do Whole 30, but like, we can't eat until 11:30. And at 6:30, we're done eating. And she's like, oh my God. You're crazy. Intermittent fasting. She's like, you're crazy. I'm vegan. Da-da. So she's got her vegan cheese or whatnot. And I'm like, you need to get on this diet with me. If you're going to live with me for 2 weeks, you're going to be on this diet. Yeah. And she's like, okay. So she loses like 15 pounds. Wow. And this is a handler that I had in Venice Beach 15 years ago when they did sequester in Venice Beach. And so she knows me very well. And she's like, literally probably 9 days into our sequester, which was, I came out of sequester looking like so good. I felt so good. I was like, this is the best quarantine I've ever had because I've lost weight, I haven't had alcohol, I've been eating blueberries for like how many days? A pound of blueberries a day makes your skin glow like crazy. She looked at me one day and she said, I know I'm not supposed to say this because I'm getting paid to be here with you, but I'm having a really, really good time. And I was like, oh my God, thanks so much, Juan. And she was like, honestly, this is the best week I've had in 2020. Aww, how sweet is that? It was so sweet.
You know who I saw, who was my handler in BB6, and then I saw her in Miami actually like 2 years ago. Rita Koutsoulis. She's great. Yes. So back in 2005, sorry. She was like, like a pleasantly rounded individual, Yeah. I see her now, or like 2 years ago, she lost 35 pounds.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
I was like, I had to do double take. I was like, girl, wow, you look amazing.